No, Tuesday. Okay, it says I'm live. We appear to be live. Hello, a few people in the chat already. Astronomy Live, Moon's in the chat, local troglodytes in the chat. So, welcome to my channel. Just brought on a friend for a chat for a little while today. He's none other than Dick Dawson. He's probably best known for his involvement within the YouTube channel The Shills, but he does have his own channel as well. You know, Highly Critical. So I just noticed someone else come into the chat, and so so I'll put the links to that in the description. We're just gonna have a little conversation with Dick this evening. We'll start off. So we'll talk a bit about the Shills, as I see a few of them are in the chat. So, Dick, tell us about the Shills. How did it get started, and what's the purpose of the Shills? What's the mission?
The mission is, to point out stupid in a fun and entertaining way and have a go at it and show why it's stupid. We're all somewhat educated in our own fields. We've got a good group of people, and we're all the type to take the teaching of pseudoscience in somewhat of a personal way and decided that no, we're having a go at that. We are not going to let that go. So that's pretty much the mission. We like to bring along anybody new that's good at this kind of thing that we find, help them, just because that's kind of, we're just small dudes too. The team is just filled up with just a bunch of guys that hooked up. And speaking of which, that's kind of how it started. We just some small channel guys hanging out, getting to know each other. And we started doing a few live streams here and there. And we realized that instead of just screwing around doing the odd live stream, we should be, turn this into a show. We've got an idea here, and it evolved rather quickly and turned into what we're doing.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I really enjoy what it is you do. I mean, there's just a great variety of different sort of streams and that on the channel. I mean, obviously, you had the sort of what you've been known as the silly Shills, you call it, on the Friday and Saturday night, which is the big bit where we just rip some idiot apart. You've got obviously Barman does his poker nights, and we've just recently on there we've had the ladies of the Shills are now doing their own show. But I noticed Moon's in the chat, so you want to tell us about what the girls are doing, Dick?
Yeah, well, what we're doing in general is the Shills channel is turning into sort of like a network of shows. And so it's going to be rebranded as the I Network, I standing for Entertainment, Information, Education. And, all the shows will have something that, there's some information in there, maybe some educational content, be some humor. And we've got at least 4 or 5 other shows as well that will be coming over the next little while. So with the girls, they were all just, really, really annoyed with that venereal disease boy and his content. And
we'll get into him in a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. And they were all chatting. We have a private server where we do our planning and whatnot for the shows. And they were in there chatting, and it was getting pretty heated. And before you knew it, they had an episode, a thing planned where they wanted to do a ladies' night Shills. And we were like, well, why not just do a show? And it instantly, within about 20 minutes of chatting, Amy and Ilya had exactly their whole plan together. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. They pulled their little team together, and within no time came out with what was an absolutely phenomenal show. It was really good.
I agree. It was fantastic. So can we, I'm not asking you to dox yourself here, but can you confirm or deny that your middle name is in fact Breath?
Oh yeah, I was proudly named by that hunk of trash.
Yes, yeah. If he ever watches this, you can have call me godless scumfuck if you want validation, boy. You can have that one on me, okay? So
love it.
But yeah, I saw. I mean, it was just wow. I mean, I just go through that. I mean, the amount of butt hurt from that guy was it was priceless. But he is. I mean, I've come across some. I mean, which I suppose is kind of how I ended up making an appearance on the Shills, and perhaps where we got to this having this conversation tonight is kind of a mutual enemies make friends and so on.
Very much so. Very much so.
And I kind of did come across Validation Boy through watching a Shill stream and just thought, what a piece of trash this guy is. And I looked into a couple of his videos and thought, no, I'm going to do responses to this. And I mean, there's obviously the one about fibromyalgia that I did a short response to. And the thing I
lots
found
of mic noise there, dude.
Oh, that's because I'm having sorry if I'm having. I'm having a little issue with the headphones. That's why. Yeah, this is the thing. I'm not. I don't even really view myself as a debunker or anything, but I just sort of think, looking at this guy, that he just goes on there, makes a bunch of erroneous claims, which he's clearly not researched. He's just making up, and just to prove that I can look into a subject and for like 5 to 10 minutes and go out and totally debunk this guy's bullshit.
Yeah.
And I've done that a couple of times now. Personally, I'd sooner not have to deal with him again, but he definitely keeps putting out the stupid. Even though I think he's a Poe, he is. Just before we went live, actually, I was for the chat. I was explaining to Dick that he's come out of another short little piece of garbage. Apparently, black people. There's a stereotype that black people are bad at tipping, which, according to him, is true.
Holy man!
So yeah. So just when you think he can't get any worse, I'll use the name that Ilya uses from Invisible Dick Boy. He finds a way. So
yeah. He's a toxic human being, because there is people stupid enough out there to listen to that fucking crap that comes out of his mouth, and he, like, there's no honesty in his voice when he sells it. When he's shoveling that crap, there is no honesty in his voice. One of the few times I actually sensed a real truth when he was speaking was when he said, "I do have a girlfriend." He actually sounded like he was telling the truth. And as such, I do believe that this is one of those dudes who, back in his earlier days or whatever, had some of these offbeat beliefs and whatnot. You know, maybe somebody was a little too rough on him in the tool shed when he was younger. But whatever the case may be, I do actually think that he's somewhat grown out of it, if that's the right way to say it, and is now just selling it. Yeah,
I mean, I do think some of his views towards women are very genuine. I definitely think there is an element, but a lot of this stuff he comes out with. I mean, like like the coronavirus being a blimmin' marketing campaign for Corona beer. I mean, there's no way he's serious about that. And he just seems to jump onto any conspiracy, whether it's flat Earth or whatever it might be. And I mean, obviously, it comes up a lot on the Shills. One of the main targets are flirfs, and let's be honest, they do put out so much stupid to rip down.
The gift that keeps on giving.
I know, it's crazy. But I mean, I don't know if the flirfs. I mean, it's like most of them I think are Poes, but you get some of them that I don't know if this is. I just want to ask you a question. You probably covered them a lot more than I have. I've sort of looked at a few of them, but some of them just seem like such angry. They all seem to be sort of a similar vein to like Validation Boy and whatever. I mean, I noticed in like Validation Boy's comments section, like Nathan Oakley had commented in there, and I think that tells you all you need to know, because Oakley's another toxic piece of trash.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if you've noticed the same thing. So I keep having problems with my earphones.
Yeah. I'll just let you sort it out here. There's a little poppy while you're going.
Yeah. Yeah, mate. So I don't know if you've noticed that same sort of thing with them. If they were all sort of bitter like that, or.
Well, let's look at it from a couple angles here. First and foremost, if 3/4 of the world is constantly laughing at you, mocking you, and telling you you're a moron, you'd have a little bit of a hate boner for the average person in society, wouldn't you? So I
Yeah,
think that alone tells us where people like Daniel Pratt get that real anger in their voice when they're trying to
yeah,
sell that crap, you know? Absolutely. And I think the other side of it is some people like myself go quite hard on them too, and that really must set them off. And in that regard, I have one thing to say to all of them. Fuck you.
absolutely, absolutely. They're. I mean, some of them, like I said. I mean, I think a lot of them are posed. I mean, like Oakley, there's no way he believes in flat Earth. Riley, I haven't quite made my mind up on yet. But I mean, I think I mean, Anthony Riley, I think is probably the most consistent for putting out just absolutely dumb stuff. But
Mm.
I've not quite made my mind up on Riley at the moment, whether he's a Poe or he actually believes this stuff. I'm not quite sure on him.
Well,
What was your opinions on Riley?
Well, Riley is a bit of a tough one, but the one that really gets me is JM Truth, because that man is painfully stupid. I mean, it's just on display for the world to see. But is he slinging it as a Poe, or is he truly speaking out of ignorance and stupidity? I can't get my head around that one. I think with Riley, anybody who puts that much effort into devising these ridiculous little experiments and whatnot probably believes what they say, but equally that could be motivation for a Poe-like behavior in selling it, right? That could be a
Yeah,
schling. It's a really tough one with him. But with JM, he's got his head so far up his ass, it's really easy to believe that he is just that fucking stupid.
yeah, I can believe that with him. I can believe that with him. Like I said, I'm not quite certain on Riley at the moment. I haven't made my mind up on him. Oakley, I think definitely is a Poe. I have no doubt about. And a lot, but don't it's a lot of the big name ones like Jeranism and that. They don't believe this shit. They can't.
Yeah.
But
And Phuket Word is one of those ones where I'm not sure on, because he gets a little bit miffed over stuff, and there seems to be enough passion in him that he could really be like, truly believe in it. But then there's other times when he just comes across as so dry, and he sounds like one of the guys on Ancient Aliens who's having to repeat the same script again.
yeah. Good comment by Logical Troglodyte in the chat there. I totally agree with that. It is leading uneducated people astray, or people who are a bit vulnerable. Yeah, if they're Poes, that's just Poes or not. They're putting this nonsense out. Like we were
Yeah.
saying earlier about validation, boy. The sad thing is, there's people that will believe him.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's the sad thing.
Yeah. And because of exactly that, you do have to take on the Poes as much as the ones that truly believe, because in the end, the mission here is to get them to just shut up and stop spreading it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you look at the scene, you've got people doing it from all angles. You have people that are debunking it in a very dry and accepting way where, they're open to discussion with them and whatnot. Then you got people like the Shills who are much, a little bit more into the comedy side of it, and, basically making fun of these fools. And it's coming at them from all angles. One of them is got to work eventually. Like, that guy, I hear through the ranks and through the whispers that he removed himself from Flat Earth on YouTube and stuff due to his girlfriend losing it on Facebook or his wife or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I think M. Benz and Scotty Storm, those two probably just needed to get a job. Hilarious though, because if you just go to YouTube and search Scotty Storm, all you find is videos ridiculing him and ripping him apart. So he hasn't furthered his cause. It didn't help you, moron. Whatever you were trying to do failed, idiot. That's all.
So I'll just going to ask. Oh, yeah, marginally there, Rose. Yes, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Flat earthers are marginally better than anti-vaxxers. I'm going to say personally, is something I have a real pet hate for. Because they really are dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, flat earthers and stuff are teaching woo and peddling nonsense. And the odd person that's going to believe it, let's face it, it's not like we just derailed the next physicist that's going to discover something cool for the world, right? It's not going to happen anyway. But anti vaxxers create a dangerous situation for those around them. They must be stopped.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not even really a debunker, but they are a group I've kind of taken on once or twice in the past, actually, because I just they are dangerous. Whether they, and again, going back to what Logical Troglodyte was saying in the chat there, whether they believe this stuff or not, they're putting out really dangerous information. And and particularly in the case of something like anti-vax, it is really potentially harmful. So that maybe just what all the sort of stuff that you guys take on the shills. I'll ask you a question, and maybe one or two of the other shills who are in the chat and maybe have different answers to this. But of all the guys you've kind of covered, of all the videos or whatever you've taken down, which one is perhaps which person or as you've gone after is kind of infuriated you the most, or or has given makes the most impression on you? So,
sorry, excuse me. That's a tough one. Well, Validation Boy himself again is right up there at the top, right? Because he's an infuriating little prick. The attack on fibromyalgia, the truth on female obesity, or whatever bullshit that was. Yeah. I mean, that's really infuriating stuff. On top of that, most of the NASA space denier stuff really gets to me, because in doing so, I mean, I'm sorry, but put your cell phone down. You're not using that, because if you're denying the advances that NASA gave us, you ain't using that fucking phone. Just put it down, you little prick, right now. So,
yeah. I mean, I can't remember. I can't remember what. I can't remember which one of them, who it was. It was some conspiracy nut I saw a few years ago that he was saying that the CERN organisation is in Switzerland is a hoax and whatever. And so, thinking, you do realise the irony of you saying this on the internet and what that is. That Tim Berners-Lee, who's largely credited with inventing the World Wide Web, was working for CERN when he invented that. They don't seem to see the irony there.
It really, really, really gets to you. I mean, one of the other ones that can really drive you crazy too when you do this for a bit is, have you done the experiment yourself? Do you know for sure? I mean, seriously, if every single person had to do the experiments unto themselves, we would barely be past the knowledge of Eratosthenes right now. I don't think we'd even be at Maxwell's laws.
Well, this is almost as bad as like the sort of young Earth creationists like Ken Ham doing the "Were you there?" sort of like, it's almost as bad as that.
Yeah. And, you get somebody like that. They don't understand geology. They don't understand quite a few fields of academic research and learning, right? And as such, they can just sit there and armchair it away with their own experiences and observations in life because they have nothing else to draw on. But just because you can't see it doesn't mean that, countless years of people learning off of each other and sharing the information and growing and peer reviewing and retesting and adjusting the theories and the models is just not true. I mean, you just can't wipe it away because you're an idiot or because you have some belief that instantly gives you some superior position that, you think you can just cherry pick two verses from a book and tell me it's good and done. No, that just doesn't work that way. I mean, if the earth is 6,500 years old, my telescope is going to have a really boring view of the sky at night when I pull it out because there ain't going to be anything there. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, okay, I mean, certain young Earth creationists grind my gears as well. So, I mean, Kent Hovind would be one in particular that really tends to grind my gears because again, you just know he's dishonest and he does,
Oh, yeah.
He's just a personal pet hate of mine. But well, I'll tell you, I was going to change your gears a little bit. Because you mentioned you were into you used to play music or whatever. I was just going to ask you a bit about that. So, what sort of music do you used to play? What are you into, music wise?
To make money, it was always like current rock and roll. And, I've done some studio work and whatnot as well with original titles and working with other people and whatnot. I won't be overly forthright with who, just, a little bit of privacy and so on. Right.
Yeah,
but,
no worries.
I've not with my own band, but I've heard myself on the radio a few times with other people's work, being a session player or being brought in or whatever.
Yeah, no worries.
And that was cool.
Okay.
And did lots of stuff on the road all through the 90s. So it was, you're always playing stuff that's a few years behind or current or, 70s stuff, 60. It really depended on the bar and the situation. Played in a few different groups, but it was all about being a musician during that period.
Yeah. That's great, mate. I mean, that's one of the things I sort of perhaps wish I'd learned to do when I was younger, is learn to play a guitar or something. Because I think I've got to see nearly every band I've always wanted to see, barring one or two that I still haven't got to see yet. But
cool.
would have been damn good to be playing this myself as well, But
it was good, and getting over like stage fright issues and stuff made some of this live streaming and whatnot now a little bit easier, right? You just jump in and do it. Doesn't really bug you. That was okay. And I did some studio work enough that I got a few skills when it comes to audio and so forth. So that kind of helps now too.
Yeah, it probably helps with what you're doing now then, I guess.
But yeah. So it's a little leg up because you got that little bit of extra you can draw on because you've done some things. I know about microphones and stuff and whatnot and things like that. So it helps. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know if you had a hand in the theme music from the Shills or not, because I've got to say, especially the silly Shill stuff, I just want to air guitar to the theme to that every time I hear it.
Yeah, me too. I actually that was just discovered free license to use tunes. That wasn't anything home done. At the time, and even now, I'm not quite equipped to make home recording sound quite as good as I'd want. I actually just got a stolen guitar back, which is really cool. And I've got, I don't know, 5 or 6 months worth of little home studio upgrades. And then there might be some real homegrown stuff come out. Right. But, right now, I just can't quite get it there. So I don't want to. Right.
Yeah. Well, I suppose it's when you got the timing, you got the means, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's always that sort of thing. But yeah, I just wondered because there was a damn great selection though for the Shills, because I just love the air guitars for that. It just gets me in the mood for watching your show actually.
Yeah, I did hours of looking, man. Like I'm talking hours. And then when I finally stumbled on that track, I was like, I'm not sure if it's good or not because I'm just so overworked of listening to tunes. So I just stopped on the moment and I left it till the next day, got myself in all the right, happy, okay, this is a good place to be. And then cranked the track up on my good sound system and whatnot. And that's it. It was just a given.
Yeah.
I had logical picking on me here. Yeah.
Yeah. I had to put that one up. But yeah, that's so where was I going to go with from there? Because like I said, I don't really sort of script this to just sort of come on and have a, just thought we'd just shoot the shit really, and so I'm not really an interviewer. But what do you guys got coming up on the Shills then?
Well, we've show-wise on the channel, Amy Hogan and I have a show called Autism, acronym for always unique, totally interesting, sometimes mysterious. And we're just going to be diving into what it's like to have autism in the family, whether it's yourself, family members, children, loved ones, and, going into strategies, techniques, observations, sharing and stuff. It'll be a really good one.
I think that's a very important thing to do to that, actually. I think that's because I think a lot of people are not really not educated on autism. I mean, I still think there's a lot I need to learn about it, and it's something we seem to be learning more about all the time. So it's
with the diagnosis in the spectrum now more widespread, and more people are being diagnosed with it, not due to the fact that autism is on the rise, but the definition for being on the spectrum is now broader and wider. It's more important than ever to bring it forward and make sure that it's talked of and spoken of, and looked at and delved into in a proper way by people that can critically think about the things and have the life experience and have dealt with it. And Amy and myself are both those people, and we just happen to be streaming YouTubers, so kind of came together. It's perfect.
Yeah, I think I really think that's a fantastic idea and really something worthwhile doing, because it is something I feel. As you say, it's far more common than people realise. Yet at the same time, there's so much sort of ignorance about what it is.
Indeed.
And I'm still ignorant on a lot of levels. It's sort of because you're always trying to, but I like to feel I'm always trying to sort of educate myself a bit more on this stuff. But they're giving me some
it's a good one, right?
Here, I think.
Yeah, I was just trying to catch up there for a second. I noticed a few tags, and I was just trying to. I don't have my little handy mute button working. I don't know what's going on with my system. I have to fix it later. But I'm trying not to be in the chat much because I have really clicky keys. Like I can pretty much drown myself out. So I have to type soft. But we have a few more things coming to the channel coming up. I'm going to be doing a David Letterman style talk show. Logical Troglodytes just putting finishing touches on something which I won't get into, but he will be finishing it. And let's see, Bullinator, myself, and Amy have been talking about a tech show. We've just been in touch with Mr. Victory, and he is going to be joining us, and we're going to be putting together a show where we do some 3D modeling learning and some stream learning through OBS and vMix and stuff, and we're going to put together some lessons and some tutorials and really get that going. We're going to have like a good 2 shows a day on our channel, different shows by, I don't know, about 3 months now.
Yeah. Sorry. Recommendations from the chat here.
Everybody needs more monkey. Exactly. But
gotta love that monkey.
Yeah. Preferably though, if he's in a bad mood, when he's in a diaper, because it gets messy.
Yeah.
It gets messy.
It's because it's generally it tends to happen a lot when flirts are in the vicinity.
Oh yeah.
He does start to start flinging it a bit when flirts are about. So
yeah, rightfully so. Though the man gets annoyed. What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
that's why we love him. He's honest about it.
I just realized.
Sorry, go ahead.
I just realized all the mods myself there. Seems like we've got to approve every comment that mentions your name because YouTube doesn't like the word dick.
That's one of the reasons why I get blue wrenches almost everywhere I go is people go, holy, unhide your own damn comments because it happens all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's absolutely, I don't get it with YouTube at times. I really don't.
I mean, especially when somebody's tagging me in the chat. My name is in the chat. They're tagging me. How does YouTube figure there's got to be something wrong with that? It's seriously, can't we just calm down a little bit?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Morton. That could you might want to rephrase that one a little bit as well. I'm loving the chat in here tonight. It's been brilliant,
Good.
actually.
Yeah.
I'm loving the chat in here. But yes, we got sort of sidetracked there. Yeah, you got what about some stuff you had come up on the Shills. Where did we get to on that?
Well, let's see here. We've got some really interesting people we're about to book. We let our calendar go real short, so then we wouldn't get too ahead of ourselves in case things come up and whatnot. But we're just going to fill some dates. We got some great people lined up. It's going to be fantastic stuff. We have in the works right now a joint live stream with Conspiracy Cats being planned. So he'll be the host of the show, and we'll be the support cast and everything, and that'll be a really great one. And I know AB Science has got a little something that's being planned in the background. He'll be bringing over soon. There might be something that I'm forgetting. If I check Discord, I'll probably be getting in shit right now for forgetting it. No, okay, that hasn't happened.
You'll be getting shit in the chat if you've forgotten something, I'm sure.
You know, there's a lot going on. It's hard to keep it all straight, but
Okay.
lots of cool stuff. We're almost ready to change the name of the channel over to the iNetwork from the Shills.
Yeah,
I think there's just a couple last pieces of artwork and stuff being done. We've got some really cool, fancy advancements in the production of our shows that'll be revealed soon. We're really upping the game there. We've got some great stuff planned. It's going to be fantastic, but I'm not going to tell you what they are.
Yeah. And of course, we did mention it earlier, but we're not forgetting the Uncalled For as well.
Oh yes,
we're not forgetting that.
I think we forgot to wrap that up. So when we were talking about the girls doing the show, the Uncalled For, they decided on their name. It's weekly Sunday. I don't actually remember the time offhand. But Ilya or Amy will put that into the chat because, and then I can actually say it.
Yeah. You're getting told off about this one. We did mention it, but you are right. I think we forgot to mention this is going to be a regular fixture now. That this wasn't just for Invisible Dick Boy's benefit. Although
exactly,
definitely a good one to start on. Is because fuck that guy.
He's the worst. He's the worst, man. But yeah, so the Uncalled For, they're going weeklies on 7:30 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah,
I've got it now. Little support, that's why you need your family. I can't do it on my own. No way. I get caught chasing butterflies. That's how come I didn't finish the train of thought to get to the actual show name and everything. That's what screwed me up.
Yeah. No worries. I told you you'd get grief in the channel from the chat though if you forgot anything there, and the girls were straight in there. But I don't know, so what stupidity is on the immediate horizon for us that's going to be addressed? Can you give us any teasers, or do you just save that for the shows themselves?
Well, there's definitely going to be a anti-vax proper go. We won't be doing the Gong Show on the Gong Show debunking on that, where we can vote the video off, because we're going to pick out a few videos that need to be properly dissected. I do believe that there's with Blue Earth thing, there is plans that have to be finalized to look into some moon landing stuff and whatnot. I believe that he has the ability to get some really good background information to make a fantastic episode. So I know that'll be planned coming up. Let's see. I remember Barman was wagging his tail about something really crazy. Oh, birds aren't real. We just looked at a video. I wouldn't doubt that Colin submitted it, but birds aren't real. And I was scared to even watch the damn video. I'm going to go in blind on that one. I want to feel the shock and awe.
See, I'm almost intrigued to go and watch it directly afterwards now, but no, I think I'm going to save it for when it's on your show. But I'm like, what?
Yeah. I know that I found a video recently, and it was a slightly different take on the classic argument of, oh well, an airplane would always have to fly with its nose down a bit to get around on a globe, like the scale error, right? They can't
Yeah,
grasp the scale of the planet to the tiny little airplane.
yeah.
It's flying over a level ground, you moron.
I mean, I don't know if you know this, but I don't. You probably heard about this because it's been addressed in a couple of couple of YouTubers have addressed this from the sort of debunking community. But there's quite a popular daytime TV show here in the UK called This Morning, and for
Mhm.
some reason they decided to bring Mark Sargent on, and I'm like, why are you
I
having this clown on here?
I was
Why?
shocked. I was shocked. Like, I was seriously shocked. And it wasn't like the weather person just doing some lame ass interview in a park for some puff piece. They really had him on the damn show, man.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Because one of the presenters, Philip Schofield, he'd actually been in the news. He'd been in the news a bit in the UK that week actually, because he'd kind of come out as gay, and it was a bit of a shock to everyone. So he'd kind of been very much in the news that week, and he's been on like British TV for like about 30 odd years now. But I don't think he could quite believe what he was hearing from Mark Sargent. It was like.
I've seen a few. I haven't watched it, but I've seen a few screenshots of it, and every screenshot I've seen, the guy in the interview, so his name, whoever you were just talking about there, he's got this bewildered look on his face, like he just cannot believe that a grown man is saying the shit that's coming out of his mouth.
Yeah.
It must be incredibly funny. I should take the time later to watch that.
I mean, it's one of those things that if I ever got the chance to actually talk to Philip Schofield, it'd be like, you're going to have to realise Mark Sargent is pretty much the best that the flat Earth movement has got to offer, and that's saying something.
Yeah,
when he is the he is like literally probably the best they've got to offer.
Yeah. When somebody puts one half of the Alcoholics Anonymous introduction on their shirt and wears it like,
I know. It's like, but part of me, I mean, I do wish though. Like, I know it's probably not as going to be as fun for rating things and that, but I do think they should perhaps acknowledge and just maybe bring someone well known from the debunking community on either with one of these people or just to let people know that there are people out there that take their nonsense apart. But I mean,
they should have. In my view of the world, they should have had Conspiracy Cats on. He's an educator. He's seriously quick-witted. He's got a little bit of dry funny that can just come on off the cuff. Like, he would have been the ultra to have on that show with that fucking moron. That would have been epic.
That would have been brilliant. I mean, I do tend to agree. Actually, he would have been very good because I believe he could have ripped Mark Sargent down in real time. I mean, obviously we got some sort of good communicators and good debunkers here in the UK. Obviously, Creaky Blinder does a good job, and obviously Simon Dan as well. Although Dan, he won't debate flat earthers. He's just like, I'm not going to waste my time with that.
Yeah,
which I can't say I blame him.
Yeah, well, that's what I call the radical stance, because radical will have none of it, right? All he does is point and laugh and make fun. He'll explain, but there's no way he's going to sit there and debate, because, as he said many times, there is no debate, right?
Yeah, but I've even noticed now that, because a lot of the bigger known flat earthers and whatever, they won't tend to go and do debates anymore because they've had their arse handed to them so many times.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jeranism. Since he got absolutely spanked by Red's rhetoric, I don't think he's done a debate since. And of course, Oakley, he will only, and I use the word debate in a loosest possible sense when it comes to Oakley, because he won't come off of his channel and he just mutes people and shouts over them if they start making good points. He
treats everybody like his children. He just yells and screams.
It's just one of those things. If you could get him onto a neutral platform, he's just going to get ripped, and that's the thing. He won't come. But I've kind of noticed that with a lot of the sort of bigger name flirts or whatever now. I mean, since some of them have really got absolute, you know, I mean, Debate, he won't go anywhere near a Debate, will he? You know, he's another one.
No,
but,
he's a parrot, right? He just rests on his 200 and that's it. Even though, you know, they've been just destroyed, but you know, got nothing, absolutely nothing. It's oh, hi Mom, how's it going?
Yeah, she's actually one of, along with Critical Cripple, who was in the, I don't know if he's still in the chat. He was the first two people to ever come onto my channel, actually, because I think learned how to do streaming about a week or so ago. So, but yeah,
it's Glover Mom and Psystrikeling that are with Ilya and Amy on the Uncalled For.
I mean, obviously it's not really what you do on the Shills is the debates or whatever. But what are your sort of take on the sort of like debates with like flat earthers and so on? I mean,
well,
what's your general take on them?
To me, most of them are moderated conversations because, I mean, anybody who did any sort of debating in, post-secondary education knows that these aren't truly real debates.
No.
Right? They're not. But when you see one of them that's handled really well and properly, and there's not too much of a heated argument, yelling and screaming going on, when you've got somebody giving it the MC Tune approach, they can be entertaining, and you know, there's some real good information being thrown around. I like that kind of thing very much. But when they start to dumpster fire, I can appreciate the comedy value for a bit, but then my brain just goes, oh, enough. It's just chaos, right? And I can only take so much.
See, sometimes they're entertaining as hell. Like, I mean, like that one with Team Skeptic and Wotan. I mean, that was brilliant. I mean, it was a dumpster fire, but it was actually hilarious. I mean, just Wotan was so lost that he just lost it. But some of them, I mean, it's like, you know, I mean, if you remember back to the days when, I mean, I got a little bit drained out on the flat earth stuff when the Non Sequitur show was doing like 2 debates every Saturday night or something. I got a bit zoned out and stuff like, and then there were other people sort of doing it during the week and whatever, and it was and where you have where a lot of the sort of bigger name ones are just they won't come anywhere near any sort of moderated debate or whatever away from their own, you know, unless they're on their own channels or something like Oakley. You know, it's weird when you sort of, I don't know if you can sort of talk about quality when it comes to flat earthers. That's not the right word, but
but we know what you mean. The statement stands, right?
Yeah, the bigger name ones. I mean, but I don't, you know, it's not that they're you know, they're any better than some of the others that are out there that are just, it's because they all parrot the same shit, and after a while they just get a bit. But speaking of this, I did, you know, I'm just going to highlight something in the chat because you can't have a debate when, exactly, I agree with that. Speaking 100%. Of which, Logical Drug, like, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I do believe he called out Validation Boy. I do believe. Oh yeah. Take him on. I'm going to assume Validation Boy bitched out on that. But
oh yeah, I mean, come on. Imagine those two standing there at high noon on the street. The equivalent in intellect and knowledge would be Logical's in like an Abrams tank, standing there with the 4-gun ready, and poor Validation Boy's got himself a slingshot, right? Yeah, I mean, it would just be hilarious.
It's like a pea shooter versus the Death Star, for fuck's sake, isn't it?
Yeah. And Logical's the kind of guy to get in your head. So he would rip him in half, and poor Validation Boy would just be staring into the soul mirror, and he would not be able to handle it, right? There was no way. His psyche would crack.
I doubt very seriously that Validation Boy is going to you know, I might be proved wrong on this, but I think he's too much of a coward to actually have a discussion. I think he likes his echo chamber, to be honest.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
actually surprised we didn't all get all kicked out of the chat. Actually, at that, but I was actually quite surprised that we didn't all get hidden in the chat. Actually, when he was doing that thing on the Shills, and I was in there too. If you remember, we were all kind of in there giving him shit and whatever, and just like, you know, I'm very surprised we didn't get kicked.
Yeah, I was doing my standard thing where I take it up a level with each comment, baiting them in more and more and trying to get that true aggravation out. And that's one of the things that leads you to Poe on Vulgar Nation Boy. One of the things that leads you to Poe is when you're baiting them in for one of those real big brouhahas in a chat or something, he's able to make sure he doesn't take the bait too far, and he doesn't go insane in a response like Pratt and that guy and some of those did, and that really leads you to Poe because there's just not enough passion behind it.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Exactly.
I just saw that. Absolutely.
Yeah. We speaking of AB, we should bring that up for a second. This guy that AB's doing a series on right now, Joe Magnetism, whatever that fucker's name is, I can't remember his name, but AB is a hands-on physicist. Like he's, what do they call it? The practicing guy. He's not theoretical, right? He's hands-on. And that's it. Thank you. And right now, he's got a serious deep dive into, you guessed it, magnetism. And for this fucking idiot to be going off the way he's going is just so far from stupid that light hasn't had enough time to get to the earth yet so we can see it. Fuck,
It's just... Yeah, this is the thing. This is the sort of thing, isn't it? Some of these people, you do need to like have a crash helmet and like soft gloves for face palming. Really, with when you listen to some of these people, it's okay. I think we've been research physicist is what he is.
Yeah, there we go.
Cheers, logical. But yeah, so. Well, where was we going to go from that there? But yeah, I mean, I suppose a lot of the I don't watch many of those like flat Earth debates and that anymore. But I've noticed things like it's very difficult to get like these like anti-vaxxers to do that sort of thing. Because I think those would be useful only in the fact that those people really need gripping down badly. That's the only way
very much
useful.
Yeah. Oh, another clique of these idiots that really piss me off too is these fucking breatharians. Don't even go there. Are you kidding me? There would be no such thing as hunger and starvation if breatharianism worked, you fucking moron. I hate that. I fucking hate that.
These are the people that think you can live. If I remember, these are the people that think you can live just on fresh air and free love alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, free love I'm on board with, but fresh air not so much. But
yeah, I mean, heavy breathing due to a rub and tug does not a meal make, man. It's not going to work. Jesus.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get. That's why I haven't really delved into that one too much and what some of their ideas and whatever. But just on the surface of it, it's like. Surely, just on the surface of it, it's so wrong. The fact that you people still have to keep eating and drinking to stay alive.
Yeah, Monk, the Drunk Monkey, and myself tore into Ray the Breatharian on my channel way back when we first met, and holy God, did he unleash? Because it was just so aggravating to listen to.
Yeah, the same Frog is like, yes, totally agree with that as well. Totally. It's one of my pet hates or whatever. It's like when I've done something, if I've ever done like a debunk thing, which I don't do very often, but if it is about anti-vax or something like that, I'm always kind of clear that if I'm wrong about something, please someone correct me, so I can put out correct information or whatever.
Yeah.
Or just don't take my word for it, but at least go to because I mean, like I find just like good resources like the British National Health Service's website and that just very good resources for this sort of stuff. And it's like, but then you hear this absolute crap coming out of like
Yeah.
I mean, because but I've got to say, of all of them, anti-vaxxers are probably my absolute pet hate. I mean,
Well, you need the protection of the herd in modern society. In our day and age of condensed city life and so on, things like this spread at a disastrously fast rate. We cannot have these people screwing it up. They are seriously dangerous, right? Especially to our youngins.
Yeah, because it scares me a lot when you get, especially when you get like well, no, because the time I covered it, it was what's the name of that celebrity who came out as an anti-vax? So that what's the name from Miami Inc? That was it, Kat Von D, and she came out as an anti-vax.
Yeah, I barely even know who she is, but it does sound familiar.
Some reality show of but she sort of said that she was going to like raise her kids without vaccines or whatever, and it's like, and she said, well, I've done my own research. I'm like, I'm all for you doing your own research, but actually go to some research, some proper information, and not just this crap on the internet.
I mean, seriously, if these people truly want to be anti-vaxxers, what we need to do is do a reclaimed island for them and send them all off, because I mean, we're just going to get it back in no time anyway. It'll be, unpopulated, deserted, and we can turn it into a paradise. Maybe a hangout to, go and get wasted. I don't know, but
absolutely. So I just noticed Cheshire was in the chat actually. I think
hey,
Cheshire.
Josh.
I do think Cheshire would love a crack at validation, boy, if she could ever get into.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she's another one that would just, destroy his punk ass.
To the point where I'd almost feel sorry for him, and I do want to stress emphasis on the word almost there, because Chesh would mess him up bad. I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be great fun to watch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes. This what give me. I mean, she's already chased Russian vids off once, so she's really messed him up. He's another rabbit hole in himself to go down. So I don't think we've got him today. He's on it. He's again another guy. I'm not sure if he's genuine, if he's serious or a Poe or what. But he just seems to like any kind of weird conspiracy theory he gets on board with.
Yeah, I'm not sure anybody could truly be that lost or that deep down the rabbit hole. But in saying that, I mean, there's got to be a reason that Ancient Aliens is on what, season 12 by now? I mean, holy shit, man. And I know the show sometimes is funny, and I know that Ancient Aliens sometimes is actually cool in a way. If you just mute it and just, watch the scenery of where they take you to some ancient ruins or something, it's usually kind of cool. But you just can't listen because it's just bullshit served in a bowl of word salad. It's horrible.
I actually really, really yearn for the days when the History Channel actually used to do historical content. I miss those so much.
I know.
I mean, I understand stuff like there's a market for it. It's entertaining, but it's quite clearly crap what you're putting out. I mean, it's total absolute nonsense.
Yeah, nobody on a mainstream channel like that should be putting that kind of crud out as regular content. Give me a break. At this point, the regulatory bodies should be stepping in and saying, excuse me, but your license is for historical content, not this fucking rubbish.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like, it's like, even if you're going to entertain even if you are going to entertain, at the very least put the counterpoint on a lot. And I don't think they do that they might do that in a very token way with something like Ancient Aliens, but at least put the counterpoint to this stupidity out there,
Yeah. Because they put the word ancient in Ancient Aliens doesn't make it actual history. It's still just supposition and nonsense. And as such, it doesn't truly deserve the distinction of being history. Shouldn't be there.
No, absolutely not. It's just nonsense. It's absolute. Yeah, I think I've maybe watched two episodes of that, and I just gave up on it completely because I just thought this is just like this is just like conspiracy theory nonsense. It really is, and it's just like I find
I saw the title of the last episode that was just released, and it was the Men in Black, are they real or something? And I mean, seriously? Holy, it was a freaking comic book, man.
yeah.
What the hell?
Oh, for goodness sake, yeah. It's like I mean, I see. It's like I didn't mind these conspiracy type shows or whatever. If at least, I mean, look, a few back in the day when that Jesse Ventura was doing his one, at least he was being honest about the fact that it was conspiracy theories he was putting out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas, and just take it for what it is. I mean, at least he had enough honesty to actually put out that he was doing a show about conspiracy theories, and yeah, he does buy into them a bit.
Right, right. It had an honest approach to it. It wasn't trying to sell it. It was just showing it. Right.
Yeah.
There was a difference.
I mean,
and this mockumentary, over dramatic style that they use in the production of this pseudoscience nonsense will really trap the average person into thinking it is more true than it is.
Yeah.
Not the average person. Sorry, that was wrong. The average dumb person. Yes. Okay. Much better. Clarification needed.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like, because I mean, because I was going to say on the Ventura one, I mean, I don't know if you ever watched any of them. I know he's very much a conspiracy theorist or whatever. But no, I mean, when they got him to look into that whole reptilian thing, and he was just like, this is too much. Even he was like, and he basically called David Icke out on doing this for money, and David Icke lost his shit with them. Which again, I mean, I think that's such a sad thing in a way, because I can actually, I'm of an age where I can remember David Icke on British TV actually being a quite respectable figure before he went batshit crazy. He was a sports presenter on British TV. Yeah, he went batshit crazy, and then I don't know, somewhere along the line we found this conspiracy theorist stuff or whatever, and kind of
9 o'clock here on the chat pointed out a good one here. It's the same with Most Haunted. And yeah, there's a few of these haunted TV shows that are out recently, and ghost hunters and whatnot. And I mean, that is just ridiculous crap.
Oh God, I tried to watch like a couple of episodes of this, and it's like, okay, you just got a load of people in a dark room with torches or whatever, and like nothing ever happens.
Yeah.
It's like, why is this stuff still being watched? I don't get it.
There's only one reason that the Ghost Hunter shows exist, and it's to train young music producers how to do dramatic music so they can move on to real shows. That's the only fucking reason I can see they exist. It's a testing site. It's a testing zone.
I've just seen this on the screen, Dick. So we're coming up on the sort of whatever. So I don't know if you had to shoot or anything in a minute, but as someone's brought this up, are we going to have to do a Del Cal before we go? I know it's really a Shills trade.
Yeah, definitely. And we're going to have Glober Mom and Logical and them all can kind of do it in spirit with us here. So we'll give it a big no.
I think you got to try and do it like go for like a world record on this or something. It's almost like the old like South American soccer commentators when they do that goal.
Yeah.
Just forever.
Too funny. Yeah, I'm actually doing a little video coming up, and I've gotten the Shills to do up some Del cows for me, but I'm going to be reaching out into the community through the Shills public Discord server there as well, and get a whole bunch of people to send in, because I've got a real funny gag and I need a whole bunch of voices. It'll be good. It'll be good.
Okay.
Yeah, I've
Well,
I've got a customer coming by soon with a computer that I got to sort out and whatnot, but still no text message or knock on the door. So we're still clear for a bit here, it seems.
okay. Yeah, yeah. If you want to go a little longer, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. But so yeah, we've done our Dell cows. Just in case, I'm sure everyone in the chat knows this already, but I just sort of ask some of these questions just in case, like people who come around who've never heard of this, what you do or anything, watch this later and do discover you guys through me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to just explain what the Del cow is and the origin of that?
Yeah, the Del cows through us starts with Del. So what is it? What's his channel? Beyond the Imaginary Curve,
Oh,
or
something like that. Yeah, I haven't watched him in. There's only
yeah,
so much of
yeah,
the idiot I can watch.
yeah.
So
Dell is beyond the imaginary curve, and that fucking Pratt is reshaping our world. Sometimes I get those two morons confused. But Dell, there's this classic clip of Dell going no, because he was all pissed off about something, and just between us screwing around live and whatnot, we turned that into the Dell cows. So anytime something in just brain assaultingly stupid comes up, we break out into a good round of them. It's fun.
yeah. I do think gonna have to go for a record for the longest Del cow on the Shills, and maybe just see which guest can do it the longest.
Well, Amy Science is a bit of a giant, and the lung capacity that man must have, I think he's going to win just on default there. And but it's definitely a good one. We should lay it out and see who can hold it the longest and give the best cow. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Maybe just amongst the guests or whatever, see who can hold do the longest Del cow. That'd be
Yeah.
that'd be. I think that could be a good little cool
That could be like our Top Gear leaderboard, right? We could have it so how do you think you did?
Yeah. Yeah, he's got up there, and so you got like cats up that you think you've come above or below.
Yeah, that's not a bad
Yeah.
idea. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Too funny. So how about yourself? Are you going to keep doing interviews like this and whatnot? Is this something that we can look forward to on your channel going forward?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and do it. I'm gonna try. I actually got one guy who's agreed to come on actually at some point. I've got it penciled in for a couple of weeks, but we're having Chris Shelton's agreed to come on the channel. He's a former Scientologist, and he's very much against Scientology now. So I'm hoping to have a conversation with him at some point. So
cool.
Which I'm looking forward to, because I mean that's a rabbit hole to go down, is Scientology, isn't it? Let's face it.
Jeez. Oh yeah, those guys are freaks, man. Like they got some fucked up shit going on in their world. Holy. When South Park skewers your ass that bad, there's problems. Oh, I just did get a doorbell.
Okay,
so
mate.
I might have my customer here. I better wrap it up.
Okie doke, mate. Well, thanks for coming on, Dick. It's been brilliant having you. Hopefully we can do something like this again, or hopefully we'll come back on the Shills at some time too, so we can hammer some stupidity together. And
definitely.
Yeah, it's been great having you on, mate.
Thanks for having me over. This was great. We have to do more for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, I've enjoyed this, mate. All right, I'll let you shoot off then. And
all right. Thanks, everybody. Okay. We'll talk to you real soon, buddy. Take care.
Yeah. All right. That's Dick Dawson. I'm glad. Thanks to him for coming on. Had a good little chat with him this evening. So I'm not really an interviewer, but I'm sort of learning how to do this. But we've just had just good fun and just shoot the shit with him really for an hour. It's been great. Well, thanks to everyone in the chat coming along. It's been Jeff, Godless Scummer. I'm going to sign off now. So see you guys later. Salute.